Hello, Nick again. Let's go ahead and get your new Carbon Cub S2 built. Other than a small Phillips head screwdriver and a power outlet to charge your LiPo battery, the Carbon Cub S2 comes with everything you need to get up and flying. Now let's get it put together. To install the landing gear, you will need your landing gear frame, first step is going to be a spacer collar on the landing gear wireframe, followed by the tire, and finally your collar with the set screw. Once you have your spacer, tire, and collar installed, tighten the set screw. Remember the flat spot on the landing gear. This will ensure a tight fit. And we'll do the same to the other side, starting with a spacer, then the tire, and finally, your locking collar with your set screw. Once both tires have been installed on the landing gear, you'll notice a notch on both sides of the landing gear. This notch indicates the direction of the plane's travel. In this instance, this would indicate the back of the plane. When installing your wheel fairings, keep in mind they are labeled on the reverse with an R or an L for right and left. And now, attach the right wheel fairing to the right-hand side of your landing gear. With the plane upside down, unlatch the door and open up the battery door. You will see an indentation and 2 screw holes on either side of the fuselage. This is where your landing gear and fasteners will all go. With the landing gear in the proper orientation, right on right, left on left, you will simply slide the landing gear into the fuselage. With the landing gear installed in the fuselage, it will be held down with the landing gear hold down tabs. Do keep in mind there will be an L printed on the tab itself. You'll want to match that up with the L on your fairing. So left on the left side, right on the right side. These fasteners are held down by 2 Phillips head screws. With the landing gear installed, you could go ahead and shut the battery door and latch it back closed. When installing your rear horizontal and vertical stabilizers, you will need bag B. Let's go ahead and remove that hardware. Your vertical and horizontal stabilizers on the rear of your Carbon Cub S2. Notice the posts on the vertical stabilizer fit into the holes on the horizontal stabilizer. The posts then are a direct fit into the fuselage itself. To secure the stabilizers onto the fuselage, you will utilize 2 of the screws from parts bag B, apply some pressure the stabilizers, and from the underside, your 2 Phillips screws from parts bag B will be installed with the tail installed. Let's get the linkages hooked up for your rudder and elevator. Let's connect the elevator linkage to the elevator control horn. Start by sliding the rubber clevis holder back, and this will allow you to open the clevis itself. Install the clevis on the furthest outside hole on the control horn. With the clevis through the control horn, slide the rubber retainer back up to secure the connection. And on the rudder, we also will slide the rubber retainer back, allowing us to open up the clevis. And again, installing on the furthest outer hole on the control horn. Finally, slide the rubber retainer back onto the clevis to secure the connection. Utilizing the last screw from parts bag B, insert this screw into the rudder to hold the rudder onto the tail. Again, you will use a Phillips head screwdriver. Keep in mind, when tightening down the rudder, tighten the screw all the way and back it up 1/4 of a turn. Test your rudder to make sure that it freely moves. If the screw's too tight, the rudder won't move and you'll want to back it off just a little bit. When installing the vortex generators, simply remove the second protective layer of the double stick tape. Orient the vortex generators so the mountain peaks look like they're going towards the yellow leading edge of the wing. Slide the vortex generator into the channel. Press firmly to ensure proper installation. With the vortex generators installed, the wing tube will be inserted into the hole in the middle of the wing and push till it stops. Install the wing tube into the other half Always keep in mind not to pinch or crimp the aileron servo leads. With the vortex generators and wing tube installed, install the wing cover by aligning the 4 posts with the 4 holes in the wing. Now, with our wing put together, it's time to install it on the plane. Orient the wing with the leading edge towards the front of the plane. When installing the wing, keep close attention and make sure you don't pinch or crimp either of your servo leads. Install the servo leads by pressing firmly on the plastic connector Make sure that the wires match up brown to brown, orange to orange, and firmly press the connection together. Followed with the other aileron lead, checking for polarity and grasping on the plastic connectors to plug and unplug. With our left and right aileron leads connected, and our wires not crimped or pinched, push the wing down on top of the fuselage. Next, install the 4 screws from parts bag C into the 4 holes on the wing mount. With our wing secured to the fuselage with the 4 screws on the wing cover, it's time to install the wing struts. To install the wing struts, turn the plane upside down. Just like our landing gear, the wing struts are labeled with an L and an R, indicating they are for the left or right wing. Utilizing 3 screws from parts bag C, tighten down the wing strut to the underside of the wings. Be careful not to over-tighten these screws. Next, utilize the 3 small screws from parts bag C. Utilize the 3rd small screw to hold the wing strut onto the fuselage. And that's how you assemble your Carbon Cub S2. Now, let's get it ready for his first flight.